Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will talk about whooping cough. Do you know why they called it whooping cough? Because they have the characteristic whoops that occur in usually in children with this infection. What is this infection? This is a cough also known as pertussis, and it is highly infectious disease which is caused by bacterium Bordetella pertussis. So where it comes from, how it spreads. In 1910, it spreads from the animals, but this theory has been rejected by some scientists in 1930. But still, they are saying it spreads from the animals, which were gorilla. That's why they are giving the vaccination of pertussis to the gorillas in zoo till now. So let us talk about a whooping cough. So how to recognize and make a clinical diagnosis? Because in MRCP-CH theory exam, you will face one question from infections, which is usually they are giving with the whooping cough. So they will not tell you about the investigation. Sometimes they are asking the investigation, and sometimes they are asking the diagnosis. From even sometimes they will give the history in details, and then they will give you the complete blood count picture, and you have to diagnose that what is this, because symptoms are similar with other infectious causes of the cough. So clinical diagnosis of the whooping cough, there are some differences we should recognize from the history, and how to investigate to confirm the diagnosis, and then life-threatening infection and the complication. So how to manage the case, and what advice we should give to the parents or caregivers if their child is suffering from a whooping cough. So clinical diagnosis, the whooping cough has three phases of symptoms. They are called it catarrhal phase and paroxysmal phase and convalescent. Last is convalescent phase. Previously, they called it the 100-day cough, the 100-day cough, because it may last 3 months or more. And sometimes it is very dangerous. We will discuss in the complications what it may cause and why it is dangerous, why examiner wants us to know and to diagnose about the whooping cough. So in catarrh phase, which lasts between 1 and 2 weeks, in which you will receive a child who is having nasal discharge, conjunctivitis, malaise, sore throat, low grade fever, dry, unproductive cough. So these are the symptoms you can also see in other infectious, but here the difference is unproductive cough, which would be dry. So this after this there is a paroxysmal phase which lasts between 1 and 6 weeks after first week of initial phase. So in this phase, this is the phase the baby is developing paroxysmus, which is sometimes bouts of cough. Sometimes they become cynosed. Even if it is less than 3 months of age, they will not come with the whoop. They will come with sometimes cyanosis because of severity of the cough. And what is whoop? Why? How it developed? Because it is short expiratory burst followed by inspiratory gasp. So this whoop is happen in this paroxysmal phase, which is last 1 and 6 weeks, which usually more common at night. And children younger than 3 months age may have apnea alone. They might not have a whoop. The whoop will in you will see the whoop in older children. And usually this paroxysmus around 30 paroxysmus in 24 hours, so they might cause the other things as well with these bouts of the cough. And there you will examine the chest, you will not find wheeze or crackles. And these are the differentiating points. And maybe severe cough to cause cyanosis and post-tussive vomiting, which may even sometimes cause dehydration, malnutrition. And but in adults there is syncope, but in children which is very rare. So after this phase, there is a convalescent phase, which is the last phase, which lasts up to 3 months, and gradual improvement in cough frequency and severity, and paroxysms can reoccur with subsequent respiratory infection. So if baby has developed the whooping cough, then they might have an paroxysmus with some other infections as well. So how to make a clinical diagnosis? So acute cough that lasted for 14 days or more without any other apparent cause, and which has one or more of the following, like paroxysmal cough, inspiratory whoop, post-tussive vomiting, and they might have apneic attacks in young infants. So these all things could be happen in other infectious causes like differentials, or we can say it could be respiratory syncytial virus, mycoplasma pneumonia, chlamydia trachomatis, and adenoviruses. These are the other infectious causes of these symptoms as well. So we should have to rule out either it is a whooping cough or it is some other cause. The non-infectious causes like asthma, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or sometimes the obstruction due to any mass. So in examination, they will give you the history. So they will give you these options, but they will give you also the complete blood count. Here in this whooping cough, you will have some difference than the other infections. They have the lymphocytosis, which you will not have in other infections. In whooping cough, they have the lymphocytosis in complete blood count. So this is exam usually they are giving these things. So after that, what will you do if the child who is having a cough, which is because of bacterium Bordetella pertussis toxin, which is called whooping cough? Then you will do the nasopharyngeal aspirate or nasopharyngeal per nasal swab. This is also examiners are asking what investigation you will do. They will do. They are asking about the PCR culture of the per nasal swab or throat swab or blood investigations. But here we should do the per nasal swab PCR of per nasal PCR of this body pertussis by the per nasal swab detection by the PCR. And other investigation which is less common and which is in the adults usually, anti-pertussis toxin IgG detected in the serum or oral fluid in absence of vaccination within the past 1 year. If they are vaccinated, we will not see this anti-pertussis toxin IgG, but if they are not vaccinated during past 1 year, then we will do the serum or oral fluid anti-pertussis toxin IgG. So management, which is the important point, how to manage a baby who is having whooping cough. First of all, if it is 6 months of age or younger and the baby is unwell, then we have to admit the patient, admit the baby. But before admission, we have to inform the hospital that our suspicious is whooping cough, pertussis, because it is highly infectious disease, so that they will make isolation for the baby, and we have to inform the hospital, either you are in the OPD or other place, you have to inform the place where you are going to admit before admission. If they have apneic episodes, severe paroxysms or cyanosis, and other complications like seizures or a pneumonia because secondary to Bordetella pertussis, so these are the criteria for the admission in the hospital. But if the baby is not that much in severe condition, also this pertussis having a mortality rate of 3.5%, which is a high mortality rate less than 6 months of age. That's why the younger the infant, the more you should take care of the baby with this whooping cough. So if you will not admit the patient, you will give an antibiotic. Macrolide antibiotics is the first line treatment for the babies who is having Bordetella pertussis infection. And if less than 1 month, we should give clarithromycin. If 1 month or older and non-pregnant woman, we should give azithromycin or clarithromycin. For pregnant women, prescribe erythromycin. And second line, if baby is cannot tolerate these antibiotic, macrolides, and these erythromycin or like erythromycin, then we will go for the cotrimoxazole. But here the thing is, when we prescribe the antibiotic to the patients, we should advise the parents that this antibiotic is to prevent the infection, spread of infection. It is not that we will give antibiotic and baby will be fine. Sometimes we are treating the babies, but it doesn't mean that he will be fine, because it has to complete the incubation period, and baby has to go with this all phases. If baby is already vaccinated, or baby is already is exposed with the Bordetella pertussis, then they have the less severe symptoms. But if they haven't any vaccination, hadn't any vaccination, and they had no exposure previously with the Bordetella pertussis toxin, then they might have a very severe symptoms. But they have to go for these all phases, 3 phases. So incubation period is 7 to 10 days. Also usually 5 to 21 days. So what is incubation period? The time from the moment of exposure to an infection agent until signs and symptoms appear. So the infection period of this Bordetella pertussis is 7 to 10 days, but it could be 5 to 21 days as well. And this is the notifiable disease. This is sometimes also in the exam you will face the question, they are asking either this is the notifiable disease or not. So this is the notifiable disease. And the other thing I am repeating, you will face a question, and if there is a lymphocytosis, you should think about the Bordetella pertussis, and the investigation is per nasal swab. Per nasal swab, not the throat or not the blood. For PCR culture, per nasal swab. So what are the complications? Complications are divided into severe complications, less severe complication, and other than respiratory system complications, and then the vomiting, post-tussive vomiting. So less severe complications are like otitis media, or sometimes they might have a unilateral hearing problem. But the severe complications like apnea, pneumonia, seizures, encephalopathy, these are the very severe complications. And then other complication, like because of these bouts of severe cough, they have increased intrathoracic and intra-abdominal pressure. So because of increased intrathoracic and intra-abdominal pressure, they have the other complications, like they have ecchymosis of conjunctival ecchymosis. They might have even the raccoon eyes, the blackish color, black eyes, like raccoon eyes you can say. And they might develop the cyanosis, and they might have, because of intra-abdominal pressure has increased, they might have umbilical hernia, inguinal hernia, or rectal prolapse if the violent cough is there, and they had not vaccinated, and the infection is very severe, and they have bouts of cough. So in that case they have these complications. Post-tussive vomiting can lead to severe dehydration, because they have 30 paroxysms in 24 hours. So if someone, if any child will vomit of these after violent cough, they will vomit 30 times in a day. Definitely they will go in severe dehydration and sometimes malnutrition. So what information you will give to the parents or caregiver? If child is not admitted in the hospital, then advise rest, adequate fluid intake, and use of paracetamol or brufen. Even with antibiotic treatment, likely to cause a protracted non-infectious cough that may take several weeks to resolve. Like that, previously they called it 100-day cough. Nowadays they don't call it 100-day cough. Symptoms is less severe in immunized and had pertussis before. So children and a healthcare worker who have suspected or confirmed whooping cough, should stay off nursery, school or work until 48 hours of antibiotic treatment. The one thing. The second thing, that are 21 days after onset of symptoms if not treated. If it is not treated, then 21 days after onset of symptoms. If you will treat until 48 hours of antibiotic treatment, because this is highly infectious disease, so they can spread to others, and it may have caused the problem with other community with this whooping cough. And when recover from acute illness, arrange vaccinations. So this is the important point. When they recover, also you have to arrange a vaccination. This is the information about. In a nutshell, the whooping cough due to Bacterium botryola pertussis toxin, and it is an important pathogen. It is a highly infectious disease, and you have to diagnose from the clinical features, and then you will go for the complete blood count. You will find a lymphocytosis, then you will do the per nasal swab for the PCR and culture, culture and PCR, and after diagnosis you will treat with macrolides, antibiotics. And this is the mortality rate in 6 months of age or less, it is 3.5%, but in general population it is 0.3% in adults in very old age. So this is also called the 100 day cough previously. I hope this will help you. Assalamu alaikum.